Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kilbajuri, and I would like to welcome Chin Kwan Fang, HNT, Ken Seng Ng, Nur Afnia Nisa, SY, Tiu Hock Kwa, Ng CH. Okay, welcome everyone to this free online lessons. And today, our topic will be how we're going to do the rendering by using Autodesk Revit, and also how we're going to utilize the Autodesk Rendering Service, Cloud Rendering Service provided by Autodesk. Okay, before we jump into this topic, so let me introduce you our website, and this is our homepage. You just go to the web browser and type in acadsystems.com, and in here you will see a lot of information regarding the Autodesk products and the Autodesk promotions, latest Autodesk promotions and news. And also, if you like to follow our event on this free online lessons, we have prepared the upcoming events. For instance, on 21st of January, we have the 3ds Max Fluid Animations lessons. It's all free. And also for the upcoming events, live coordinations, productivity tools, woodwork with DMC. So feel free to join our lessons in the future. And we also have enhanced our communication method. So after this, if you would like to reach to our team, we will have this feature. We call this as open chat. If you go to our homepage, you will find these buttons blinking in blue, and just click on the open channel Acad system, and we will see there are agents waiting to reply to you. For instance, if you would like to say hi with and you our assistance with your issues with AutoCAD. Okay, and then our agents, available agent, will pick up the chats and respond to you immediately. Okay, so this is our way to make you communicate with us easier. Okay, and the other way that you can go with us is by going to our help desk. Okay, if you want to go further in our help desk, just go with this Acad Systems new help desk, and in here you will you can proceed as a guest. You can continue as a guest, and you can also use this method to ask our assistance by our technicals or sales. Don't forget to provide your name. Okay, subject, email, company. For instance, you put your name here. Subject, AutoCAD error, email address. Okay, and don't forget to enter your company name. Okay, and then with the details of the issues. Okay, and then you will have options to submit the ticket, and don't forget to put the category with the priority high. Again, don't forget to submit the ticket. Okay, that's the way we can communicate to you. And back to our Revit, and before we go further into our topic, okay, welcome Halim Uthman. And before we jump into our topic, let me open the slides here. And today, our learning objective, we will see the Revit capabilities to do realistic rendering. And everybody who is new to Revit, or if you have been using Revit for many years, you may forget that Revit is going to improve the rendering engines. For every release, for every year, Revit is improving their rendering output and rendering engines. So that is why in this lessons, I would like to show to you how you're going to fully utilizing Revit capabilities in rendering, and also with the additional service provided by Autodesk with the Cloud Rendering Engine. Let's see how the quality that provided by cloud services, Autodesk Cloud Services, would help you to produce a very high-end images with a very good pixel. And we will see if we if modifying a family component will help you on the rendering purpose. For instance, if you want to change the lighting effects on the building, say that you want to go from white color to yellow color, blue color, whatever. So that will be the way we can modify the Revit component for rendering purpose. And the rendering key features. So today, we will start with the setting up the camera views, and then we will go with the how we're going to define the quality settings, quality outputs of rendering in Revit, and how you're going to setting up the lighting and shadows so that your rendering would look nice with the right impacts. Okay, and then how we're going to use cloud services, and also how we can use local your own computer to process the rendering. And once we have done with the rendering process, we will go with the edit exposure setting, and then we're going to save the rendered image with the various options of saving the images. Okay, so this is the sample of the model. Just a small house. Okay. Okay, and then this would be the sample of perspective view, and also I would like to show you the samples of rendering output. So this is purely created from Autodesk Revit local engine with the help of your computer hardware, and this is also the scene of night rendering setting. So with the help of all lighting effects in Revit, we can also achieve the night rendering setting. Okay, and to start with the rendering, so we have to open up the plan view. For instance, this is your plan view. Okay, and the tips of starting with Revit rendering is that you must have enough site models. Okay, so the reason why this is all the site model. If I want to look in 3D, okay. So it's kind of loading up. Okay, for instance, I turn it off the plant. Okay. So for instance, this would be the 3D model, and I would highly suggest that you add further additional site model topography, so that we can add more trees, plantations for our rendering background. So this would be the case where you can generate a rendering view. So, and if you want to generate a rendering view, say that you want to open up the ground floor plan, okay, and if you want to generate the camera view, you have to go to the view menu, find a 3D view button here, and find the camera command. So in this camera command, you would station the camera, and you're going to tilt up the position of the angle facing the building like this. It's okay to extend the view range, and then this is what you're going to see. Okay, and that is why I was locating model up the trees as the background, so that we will have a better view. And to work with the angle, so it is kind of subjective, depends on your eyes, how beautiful is the angle would help this to produce rendering. But usually I will just go with this angle, you know, going to 45 degrees and so on. So, and if you are not sure, or if you want to change the angle, there is a full navigation wheel. Okay, and in this full navigation wheel, you can use many features like orbiting. So the way that you want to use is by click and hold the orbit button like this, or you want to pan moving the camera. Okay, and if you want to look around the camera like this, okay, and you can also walk on the model. Okay, and that depends on how you're going to place the images. Okay, but usually I will provide some space for the grounds and also space for the clouds and the backgrounds. Okay, say that we're going to do like this, and let's say I have satisfied with this angle, and this will be the what we call it the crop size. And if you are not sure of the crop sizing, okay, because you can actually manually crop in or crop out anything, okay. But if you are not sure about the actual sizes, you can click at this box and go to this sizing crop, and you can define by the values here. Say that you want to height would be 90 and the width would be say that to 230. Okay, then you can click apply, and that is the size of 230 times 90. Okay, and again, if you want to go with this setting, then it's okay. Okay, let me try to tilt this up, bring this up this way. And next thing to consider is how you're going to place. If you're going to render, do the daylight render or night scene rendering, so you must consider on how you're going to place the shadow. So to place the shadow, I would always go to the 3D view. Okay, that's the camera view that we are facing now. And in 3D view, I will make sure I will turn on the sun path. Down here, we got the sun path button, and use the specified location. Okay. So this will be the positions of the sun orientations and how it's going to affect. And if you want to see it clearer, I will change this visualize to hidden line. And also I will turn the shadow on. Okay, how I get this sun orientation impacts based on the location that we set. So how we're going to define the locations, you can go to the sun settings and see if you can set on the solar study by still image and define the settings, by locations here. You can click here, and you can actually go with default city list, or you can go with the internet mapping. So internet mapping allows you to specify the accurate position. Okay, for instance, you want to locate the building around here. Let's say the one is somewhere here. Okay, and it will give you the address, the coordinates of this building, and you're going to click OK. It means that you have chosen the coordinate for this reason. So whatever shadow settings that will be applied is totally based on the actual sun orientation for that coordinate system. So when you click OK, and it is the actual shadow placement on this month. Okay, and I will just move the globe to see the impact on this building from morning. Say that this is the angle from morning. Okay, so you got the shadow a bit like on the back there. Okay, and this is the front of the house. And if you move the sun globe to the afternoon, let's say 3 p.m., and this would be the shadow location that you will see. Okay, so I will go with morning session because my camera is in that angle, and choosing the right angle of your rendering is very important so that your building will not be dark, and then you will see the actual material that you are setting. Okay, say that go with 10 yeah, okay. And when you go with the view, say that you want to go with the view that you just creating, if you open up the sun setting, sorry, here, and you have to make sure you choose still and click OK, then turn on the shadow. Okay. You can also choose the date or time from here. Okay. And you will see how how the difference between the afternoon rendering, okay, and with the morning settings from this angle. So this now we have finalized the shadow, and then we're going to move further on the rendering setting. So in this view menu, you will see there is two options to render. We will go with both. First, we go with render, okay, and then next we go with render in cloud. So before we click at this render, for me, rendering settings in Revit is very simple. It's a kind of straightforward method. And for those who are not really into visualization, so this is kind of initial concept rendering, I would suggest I will highly recommend you to choose Revit rendering so that you don't have to bring your model to the other software, V-Ray, 3ds Max, or SketchUp. Okay, and the quality setting is quite important because this is how you're going to define the output quality. And usually, if your PC is having a good processing power, at least 4 core and above, you can go with the medium and above, or even better, you go with high, okay, or best. And if you want to customize, you can go with this edit, and you will see what is actually happening if you go with draft. Medium, the render by level is 5, height, render by level is 10, and best render by level is 20. But if you want to really customize, you can go to the custom specific and say that you want to go with 25, sorry, 25, or you can specify the render durations by time. Say that you want to go with 10 minutes rendering, or you can go with the until satisfactory, so that when the render is finished, it means it has analyzed and rendered all textures and material in this model. Okay, you can go with the advanced precise material, and for this case, I would prefer render by level 25. Okay, and then I'm going to click OK. And then for the output settings, it is pretty much explanatory. When you will see the resolutions by screen or using by printer, it means that whatever that you choose, whenever you choose screen, it will give you this amount of DPI 696. But if you want a higher quality of the output for printing purpose, you can go for this printing printer, and then you can set the DPI. For me, 300 is good enough. Okay, and the lighting is the same setting that we did for the sun path, so that you can go to the sun setting. You don't have to do anything but just to choose to make sure the solar study is still, and the date, the time is the one that is make sure it's correct based on the image that we are looking now. Okay, and also for night scenes, I will show after this on the night scene how we're going to utilize the artificial setting, artificial lighting. And there is a adjust exposure button, but I prefer to adjust a bit, but this can be adjusted later once the render is done. And before we save the image to the hard copy or soft copy, then we can again do this post-processing, post-production image. Okay. And if I click render, so that will take up your time based on the levels of rendering. Okay, and for now, I will just skip this part because I have prepared the output from the scene, the same angle, almost the same angle, the front view, sorry, the 3D view. So I have saved this. Okay, the rendering A1, A2, okay. And that is how we're going to get this, the same things with the images. And it is, if I want to compare this with other rendering engines, is quite close. But the thing is, you have to be very good at modeling. You have to really good at defining the material, okay, and defining the construction model. It must be very detailed. Say that you have the groove line on the walls here. You have to show them the groove line properly so that it will show the real impact, especially to show the shadow impact of the building. Okay, because it's going to take up a few minutes, but our session is quite short, so I will skip that part and show the output. Okay, and move further on the other methods that I can share. So let's say you want to keep this night scene render. So with the same view, if I want to look at the same view, and if you want to look at the night rendering settings, so what you can do is you can go with the render here, okay? And the difference between the night rendering and a daylight rendering is how you can choose the lighting settings here. If you can choose to have the exterior artificial only without sun, or you can combine the sun artificial, and make sure the sun setting is changed to the later in the afternoon or the probably in the evening. So you can move up the time line to go to a bit late in the afternoon or evening. Say that you want it to be 8 p.m. Okay, and then you can just go with the same locations and other settings. Then I will click apply, and you will see all the shadow of the sunlight is already, sun is already down, so it means there is no sun impacts on this angle. And because we are picking up the sun artificial, it means we have options to turn on the artificial lights. So I should know which lights is if I'm referring to, because I have options to turn off if I don't want to see the lights, the light from this source, I think. But if you choose to select all, it's okay. Okay, and then you can also change the background if you want to. But for night rendering, I prefer to choose basic sky with very few clouds. Okay, and then you can hit the render button. Okay, and then this is the output that you will get. Okay, that's the method that we can do with the exterior rendering for night scenes settings. And to move further with our topic today, we're going to choose render in cloud methods and see how it's going to help you to speed up the rendering process while not disturbing your modeling process. Okay, say that you have this angle, okay, the same angle, and you want to make it like render, change the angle to morning. Okay, say that 9 a.m. then click OK. Okay, then I will just go with this adjust exposure settings. Then I will just close this. Okay, but if I go with this render, if I click this render, it will use up my processing. If you are using laptop or PC, it will use up your processing power. Okay, that is the sample. I have to wait for this to process. And if you are going to do this way, now you are stopping the progress, because you cannot do anything in the model, you cannot touch up anything, and you have to wait until the rendering is done, and then you can do everything that you need to do after that. And that is wasting time, because you can do many things in this, while waiting on this. Okay, let's see how it goes. Before I manage to cancel out the process, yeah, it has to be running first. Okay, that is the sample. Okay, and then I'm going to stop it for now, because it's going to, yeah, it just get this imaginary while rendering. Okay, just close this for now. Okay, and then I'll pick stop. Okay, and just close this rendering dialog. Okay, because I need to work on this computer or doing Revit or anything, so I prefer to use render in cloud. So doing rendering in cloud is much simpler. Is really, if doing render in local is simple, then rendering in cloud is much simpler. But the output in rendering cloud is way better, because it uses the power of the cloud computing systems provided by Autodesk. And there are only 3 steps involved in this process. Okay, select the views, get the notification when the image is ready, then view the render gallery. So if I want to continue, okay, this is the dialog box for render in cloud. So you have to choose the view. Okay, pick any view that you want and choose the output. We have the option to choose still image, panorama, stereo panorama, and luminance. Okay, and we'll start with the still image and find the render quality. Okay, for now we are utilizing 0 credits. It means you can use this feature for free. But if you change the render quality to final, it will use your Autodesk credit 1. Okay, and if you modify the image size to larger, let's say 60 megapixel, so now it will eat up your 16 credit points, and also the exposure. Also, you can choose to have advanced or native. Okay, it doesn't impact much on the credits. So, but now you have to make sure that you are choosing the right, because if you choose to have large 2.25 megapixel, you only use 2 credits for now. Okay, and since I have many credits, I prefer to choose this maximum 16 megapixel, and just click this render button. Okay, while it's gathering scene data to be rendered, okay, you just need to wait for a few seconds. Okay, and then what will happen next is it allows you to continue in background. Okay, and you will see there is a running button here and show the render progress. So the output will go to the, you can check the outputs by looking at the Autodesk render gallery here, or if you look at the website, so you can also search for Autodesk rendering websites, and it will show. You have to log in to the same account that you are doing in Revit, and this is the sample of the images of the same building that I already rendered in this. Okay, and you will see if I go with this. Okay, this is sample of night scene rendering. This is a daylight rendering settings. Okay, you can see the same settings, but the output is way clearer compared to the rendering in Revit. Okay, and you also have a better night scene rendering. On the light impacts is way better in terms of the light luminance and light setting and so on. And also we have options to look at this image in a panoramic view. Okay, and this is the sample of the panoramic view. So it means that if your building, if you standing in the courtyard, if you are standing in the middle of the garden facing the building, and you will see this image, okay, 360 moving as you were producing the panoramic scenes. Okay, the panorama scenes can only be achieved when you use the Autodesk rendering settings only, right? Okay, and while processing, so now we will know that this view, 3D V1 is processing and it needs a few more minutes. Okay, remaining time is 6 minutes, and believe me, this method is way faster and it helps you to, to maintain the productivity while rendering, so that you don't have to stop working, or the process of your modeling can be continued. Okay, and this is another sample of panoramic, the front view. Okay, you can see the front view here. The image is really clear. Okay, and you have to know how to play with the plantations, the landscape, so that you can get a better picture. I was just using the images from Revit library. Okay, and then if you want to download the image, you can simply, and before you download, you can also click at this post processing button here. Okay, and say that you want to modify the exposure value to make it a bit, okay, a bit dark here. You don't want it to be too bright. Okay, say like that. Okay, and then you can also add the bloom amount. Okay, okay, and then you can click apply. And now it's kind of re-rendering the images, but it won't take long. Okay, and if you want to download the panorama images, say that this, I'm opening up the panorama scenes like this. Okay, and you can see there is a download button here, and you have options to download panorama as cube, cube cross, or rectangular. And I always prefer to download as HTML, so that I can simply show to clients or to everybody how it looks like in just by sharing the link. So this is the link that you will be getting. Okay, and you can share this link to everybody. And the other options that you can download for any images, say that you have these images for night scene, and if you want to download, you have options to save this image as PNG, JPEG, TIFF, and EXR. And if you are planning to do post-processing by using Photoshop, any other image editor, okay. Welcome Jamil Rozi. But even though it's quite late, you can always watch this session. We watch the sessions back in our Facebook channel, Facebook page and YouTube channel. Okay, say that you want to download this image as PNG, then now I'm downloading these images. Okay, and if I run this, so this would be the image that I downloaded from Autodesk Rendering. So this is the image that's totally using Autodesk Cloud Services rendering services, and it just use up your credits. But if you choose a lower size of images, you may use this feature for free, as long as you can access your Revit modeling software, and you can use this feature for free. But if you want better pixels, larger image for printing purpose and so on, I would suggest you top up your credits, Autodesk credits, so that you can have better output. Okay, so that is how we're going to how I did rendering in Revit and also in the cloud services, Autodesk Cloud Services rendering. Okay, and I'm open up for questions. If you have any questions, feel free to drop the question in the chat box here. Okay, I cannot run the poll for now because something wrong happened. Something happened with these sessions, but it's okay. So while waiting for this, for Jamil Razi, it's quite late for you to join this session, but it's okay. If you want to watch this session again, you can always go to our website, okay, and then go down to the our homepage, and you should find us on Facebook and YouTube by clicking this button. If you want to watch this session, we will upload all the recording of every session that we organize in this YouTube channel, and also in our Facebook page. Okay, and you will see there are many videos uploaded from the previous events. Okay, and it is all free for you to learn during this session. I believe some of you are still working from home now, or you guys already work in office partially. Okay, that's good to hear. Just keeping yourself safe and healthy. Okay, I'm still waiting for the questions. So if you require more support from us, you can always go for those who just joined the session. So if you require help from us, just go with our homepage and find these open chats available for you to access. And also you can go to our websites and find the Acad system new help there. So this is the way we can assist you on every issues that you are facing. Whatever software related, as long as it's Autodesk software, you can always ask our assistants, and our team will respond to you immediately. Okay, if there is no more questions, I guess I will end the session now. So thank you very much for your time. Okay, thank you, Chin, Quan Fang, David, HNT. Seems like questions. Okay, thank you, Chin, Quan Fang. Okay, thank you, David, Halim Osman, Jamir Rozi, Ken Seng Eng CH, Mr. Simpson, T. Hock Hua, and the whole Acad Systems team, Mr. Peter and Suksin, Ika. Okay, thank you very much for joining, and hope to see you guys again in the next event. Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you, David.